Years of age from Perth, Western Australia, stands 187 centimetres tall. His partner, the bigger of the two, but he's 18 years of age, though he doesn't look it. 195 centimetres tall. He's dominated on the net this summer in Australia, where this pair have been unbeatable. The Italians, and wearing the #1 singlet today, will be Riccardo Marchiori, who's lapping up the sun prior to the match. He's 27 years of age. He's from Venice, 186 centimetres tall. The #2 for Italy, Grigolo, 23 years of age. He's the big guy, only by about an inch or so, 188 centimetres tall, and this pair finished 19th in Brazil, so they're going to do twice as well here in Manly. Burdin to get the match underway. Riccardo, has he touched the net? He has. No, it was the Australian, Julian Prosser there, going up for the block. Made contact with the net. That's not allowed, so it's side out to Italy. Of course, points can only be won off serve, so the Italians looking to post the first score. Prosser goes cross court and just catches the line. No, it's called out.
That ball actually looked like it touched the line.
We're probably in a better position here than the referees are, St. John, and that seemed to really vibrate the tape. Anyway, it's 1-0 to Italy. No problems about that one. Side out Australia.
Yeah, I think that the Australians have had a problem in getting a fast start, and they're showing that they've gotten a slow start already. I think once they've scored 4 or 5 points, then they really get into the game.
Julian Prosser serving. That one was going in court. Marchiori forced to go with the angle. Great dig there by Burdin, but Prosser couldn't get to it, so side out Italy.
Burdin was actually there early and had to wait for the ball to come down, and that's why he missed it. And Julian couldn't help him out on that one.
It's in. Desperate lunge there from Grigolo, but lobbing into the corner, so the Australians playing deep and for the lines get a side out. Good short serve there. The Italians on the back foot. Oh, well recovered by Burdin. Great scrambling volleyball. This over the back. What a great play there.
That's a fantastic shot by Nicolo, behind the back, slapping the ball over the net. You don't see that shot many times in a whole tournament, and it worked out for him just now. Great dig by Burdin.
Grigolo serving for Italy. Andy Burdin, well positioned was Marchiori, but couldn't control the dig.
They gave a free net to Andy on that one, and Andy was able to spike it hard enough where they couldn't control the dig. You don't want to allow a player to have a free net with a good set, otherwise it's 9 times out of 10 it's hammered away. There's a tough serve by Burdin.
The big block there from Prosser, says he didn't touch the net. Double hit. Call against Italy. Burdin serving. Australia get on the scoreboard. They seem to be singeing the Australians coming out here trying to serve hard right from the start.
Yeah, that's what they've got to do to get their game going right from the beginning. And that's what happens sometimes when you try to serve tough every time. You're going to make mistakes, but you're going to also force points.
First fault from Burdin. Marchiori serving for Italy. Can't find the baseline there, so
still hasn't settled down. The Burdin has got to get his game together right now. He can't give him too much of a lead. I know they're used to being behind and coming back, but they can't do that to a team like the Italians.
He looked there and saw the open court. Cross court, no problems for Burdin. Side out Australia.
What the defense has got to do for a play like that, they've got to make a fake so that the spiker sees him going one way, and then they have to return and pick up that ball.
Well dug out there by Prosser. The big fella hammers it down the line. You see the skipper there, Andy Burdin, just really revving up his younger teammate, Julian Prosser, for a big serve here. Australia looking to get back on equal terms, down 2-3. Oh, great block by Prosser, but into his side of the net.
Yeah, Julian's got to really reach over the net so that when the ball hits his arm, it drops on their side of the court, not his. And right here, his hands were just off the net, and it slipped underneath.
Take the risk there of letting that go, Burdin. No error about the spike there. If he can cut those spiking errors out, I think the Australians can get on top here. The Italians really playing a little more conservatively, letting the Australians give them the points. Still 2-3 Australia. First sky ball serve. And again, it comes off the block of Prosser for a side out Italy.
Yeah, I think they've got to try and serve to the shorter Italian most of the time. Once in a while breaking it up and going to Nicola, but most of the time to the shorter player.
Oh.
Well, it started with a bad pass, and it's tough to get a good set with that bad pass, and it forced Burdin to make a very tough shot, and he didn't quite make it over the net.
Italy lead 4-2. Down the middle goes Andy Burdin, side out Australia.
And there it is. They give him the open net, and of course he's going to put that ball down most of the time. They've got to keep the pressure on with the block at the net.
The block's fine that time from big Julian Prosser. He took your advice, got really over the net that time, and really no way that the Italians could pass him.
Yeah, with that close set, Julian really reached over, and there was nowhere for Nicolo to go.
They watch one another, the Italians and ace.
We call that husband and wife. They can't make a decision, and it falls between them.
So the Aussies running hot and cold, getting back onto level terms with a hot serve.
They're still serving Nicola.
Grigolo judges well, letting it go out. And another spike error from Andy Burdin.
Julian actually forced Nicolo to go high over the block, which enabled Andy to pick that ball up, but then Andy made the hitting error just out of bounds. That's a tough flat serve. It's hard to tell from here, but when you serve that ball flat into the wind, it really moves on you, and that one rose on Andy and hit him in the chest.
Grigolo back pedals, and Burdin no mistake.
He's got to stay at that net and force Andy to make a tough shot. Put the pressure on him. Keep the block there. Great serve by Julian, deep into the court.
And that's out.
And there it is. Julian with the big block of the net forces an error from Nicolo.
So that's the first point the Australians have won from an Italian error. It's 5-all at the sit-down. Sunblock going on around centre court. They can just nip about 10 metres out the back if they get too hot, the spectators, and have a dip. So it's 5-all. The Italians there made just 2 errors, the Australians 9. But on the scoreboard, it's equal. Prosser serving. Served very well so far. Grigolo off the block of Prosser, who thought he had it covered.
Yeah, Julian was up very high, but what he did is he dropped one of his arms to get even higher, and he really didn't have to because the ball came right at his hands.
From about 1/4 of a metre away, it's pretty hard to reposition that single hand. Well judged there by Marchiori. He knew where Burdin was going. Oh, well picked up, but that's a subtle play is a good one from Marchiori.
A very lucky play. I think they would have had an easy play of it had it not hit the net, but when it hits the net, it just dribbles right over, and it's very tough to get.
Italians back in the lead, 6-5. Oh, well played that time by Burdin. cutting it down the line.
It's very risky, though, what he did. He came in very slow to the ball and looked at the whole court. Now, without a block, he would have been in trouble because he really didn't jump that hard.
That's in. Spike down the middle from Nicola Grigolo. Gets the side out for Italy.
Julian decided to back up that time and give him a free net, trying to catch him off guard. And he actually hit a soft shot, but there was no one there to pick it up.
Riccardo Marchiori serving for Italy at 6-5. And again, down the line works for Andy Burdin. His eyes are darting around everywhere, working out the options, picking the best one, which he's done with increasing regularity as the game has progressed. Oh, down the line's an ace. What a fantastic serve there.
Yeah,
he changed his mind, I think, just before hitting the ball.
That's right. He turned his hand and hit it down the line, and Nicolo had no chance. He was actually moving towards the middle of the court.
Marchiori over Prosser and in.
That's right. It was still tough getting it over the block, but he hit it high enough so it was out of the reach of Julian, and Andy was tied in on the angle.
6 apiece. Marchiori serving. Grigolo got a fingertip to it.
Actually, it impeded his partner from picking it up. He knocked it out of his reach.
Important stage in the game here. One side can get an advantage. They might be able to press it home. 6 each. And Julian, who serves so well, hits his second fault.
Yeah, he was going for that advantage. He gave it everything on that ball, and it just didn't clear the net. That's the problem with serving tough. You're going to make some great serves, but you're going to miss some also.
He hammered that one. Well put up by Marchiori, and he can finish the point off. Great play. The dig got them out of trouble.
They've made some great plays out of the net. This ball goes into the net, and they retrieve it just like that, a perfect set, and then he hammers it home.
Oh, the good block has just gone out from Marchiori, so side out Australia, down 7-6. All right. Yep. These Italians coming out of a northern winter, you'd think the Australians will have a fitness advantage. This pair unbeatable out here. They won all 5 Grand Prix events in Australia.
Yeah, I think they do have an advantage as far as being in shape right now, and I think you can see it on the Italians' faces. They're gasping for air a little more than the Australians are.
But the Australians don't want to let the Italians get too much of an advantage. You'll see they go to the back of the court, Marchiori and Grigolo, have a little bit of a chat, and the referee's watching that closely. They're up by a point. Over the top of Grigolo, and it's starting to work now for Andy Burdin.
Yeah, he's having much success now, just shooting the ball, coming in and looking at the court and just shooting it over the block.
That one's in court. Great play from the Italians. They're matching the Australians. It's a tremendous fight here for 7th place.
That time Julian made a great serve, and it forced a bad pass, and he backed off the net thinking there was going to be a bad set, but it was a decent set, and he was able to put the ball away. There it is again. Andy tooling the block. He's watching the defense and hitting it and just barely touching the fingers of the blocker.
So it's side out for side out at the moment. Italians up by 1. Well read by Burdin. Now, what will he do? Will he hammer this one? No, again, subtly used. That's going to go out from Grigolo, who really threw caution to the wind there. Burdin goes short with the serve for the first time. Good, powerful spike from Nicola Grigolo. Sorry, Riccardo Marchiori that time. Good fake there by Burdin. Marchiori went right. Burdin down the line.
He actually waited quite a long time and made his move late, but Andy read it all the way.
Served very well, Prosser. Let's see what his block's like. It's good, but too much power from Grigolo. He hammered that.
Julian's been serving tough the whole game, and that's going to wear on the Italians. Strong spike by Nicolo, though.
It's a good serve. Stays at the back of the court.
No one up at the net that time. That was a big mistake by Andy, hitting it out of bounds without a block.
And not much breeze getting through as the crowd starts to build in the stands. Italy leading by 1, and the error made on serve there by Grigolo. Their account is 11 to Australia, 5 to Italy.
Everybody's serving tough. They want those easy points. Barely out. Just barely out. He cut it sharp across the court and just barely went out. I don't think if that had hit the line, anyone would have been close to passing that.
Well, the Italians have hit the line.
That's just what Burdin was trying to do. Marchiori, though, does it successfully.
So Italy now up by 2. 9-7 the score. Can Marchiori get back? The Breeze is going to keep it on his side.
That's right. I don't know if you noticed, though, that Marchiori served a flat serve that time without a jump serve, and that has to be because he's a little bit tired, and that might have been the reason why he didn't get to that ball. Everybody's looking for any break they can get here. There it is. Andy took something off the serve to make sure he got it in the court. Makes a fantastic dig. Julian runs it down. Now they're just going to have to keep it in play.
Marchiori, sets the Australians up here. Burdin, look down the line. Great block made by Grigolo. Can he do it again off Prosser? The dig is good. Marchiori, he's kept it alive.
Quite a long rally. Both teams are very tired.
That's in court.
Great spike by Andy Burdin to finish the rally.
Best rally of the match, and I think it's taken more out of the Italians than the Australians. Andy Burdin, the coup de grace there. So Andy Burdin, 19 kills, but he's made 6 errors. Looking to eliminate that part of his game. The serve would have gone in. Australians down by a point. They can level up here with another kill from Burdin. Great block made there by Grigolo.
Andy tried to put that ball away cross court. Nicola was right all over, reaching over the net. Didn't have an opportunity to go over. They seem to be having success going to Nicola, though. Burdin receiving just about all of the serves. Once again, puts it away.
Number 20. He's the kill merchant.
I don't expect to see Burdin make as many mistakes as he did early on in the game.
Australia looking to level up. Prosser's serve. Down the line is in.
Great serve. See, that's it. He finally found the range and got one in.
Second ace.
Julian here, he's the youngest player of this tournament. Believe it or not, Julian's only 18
Youngest player in this tournament at 18 years of age, Julian Prosser. When he grows up, he's going to be massive.
I think he's already grown up.
Fire with fire from the Italians. Big spike from Grigolo. Gets the side out for Italy.
I'll tell you, when you're out there playing against Julian, you don't look at him as a kid. I assure you. Nice serve.
Not a bad set, but just drifted over the net with the breeze. And Italians get a point. So they're back in front again, 10-9.
That started with the tough serve again. Andy had trouble passing it. Julian brought it back, but it just went over the net and enabled the Italians to pick it up and hammer it home.
There's too much on that from Prosser, who's looking to drop it short. And he's got a fingertip to that, so Italy now lead. St. John, this is a dogfight. Italy, though, fighting very hard.
Yeah, I think the difference could be the team who's in the better shape.
Great serve made there by Grigolo, but the Australian's back in it. Burdin finds the line.
It's unbelievable how many lines have been hit this game. You just don't see it that often. It's too risky to aim for the lines, and these guys are popping the lines right and left.
Covered with sand there, the tape, so
yeah, he knows he's
quite happy to take a bit of time over it.
Plus, he knows he's going to hit those lines, so he wants to make sure they're very clear. Great dig by Burdin, one arm. They called that a mishandled ball. What happened was Marchiori was not facing where he was setting, and it hit one hand first and then rolled off the other hand. So it's counted as a mishandled or a double hit on the set.
Australia now get a point back. Burdin, great dig. What's been called here? Not up.
They called it basically a stick or the ball that rolled off the hand. It wasn't a clean contact.
Same timeout called.
So 2 mishandled balls in 2 plays.
Australia down 10-11. Burdin's hit that line again.
Down the line there.
That's the toughest shot in the game, to hit the line, especially by the block. See, the meat of the court is the cross court. There's much more area, so it's a very tricky shot.
Grigolo fighting the corner. It's a game in which both sides are really limiting their chances of playing safe, but finding the openings.
Tough serve by Grigolo. Julian passes it up. Good set by Andy, and Julian hammers that ball. No block up. You've got to at least let the player know that there's a block there to start with, and then back up if you're not going to block.
No, too hot to handle Marchiori's spike.
I think Burdin was expecting a spike down at about his knees, but it hit him high, and he wasn't prepared for it.
Oh, mishandle there.
Now, I don't know if that was the sun or if it was the ball was a little wet or what, but that's not something that Julian usually does. You're not going to see that happen more than maybe once a tournament.
He's taken a sand timeout. I think sand coming off the ball when it hit him on the nose. So Italy back to that 2-point lead.
Another tough serve, but they're able to pass it all right.
Marchiori getting it off the fingertips of both Prosser and Burdin, and it's timeout, side out Italy.
That little timeout gave him a little bit of energy, and he's able to hammer that one cross court.
Over Grigolo's block from Burdin.
It's very frustrating at this point of the game, watching the spiker just shoot the ball easily over the block and being so tired you just can't go after it.
Ball just floating on the breeze and out, and we've seen him do that at vital stages.
I think that time Julian, he elected to go to just a flat serve, an easy one to keep it in the court, but the wind took it right out of bounds. So what happened there was he was outside the sideline when he served the ball. At least that's what the referee is claiming.
Referee just explaining here. The server.
Yes, you can see the foot mark there.
So
the server not allowed to enter the court with a serve, such as a foot fault in tennis, but also not allowed to serve from outside the extension of that sideline.
Exactly.
Sure. You can still see
The Italians, they can't believe it. They know the rule, but they just can't believe that it happened.
Now, it's the back foot that referee Andrew Hercus is talking about.
Very close, but it looks like, I don't know, it's hard to tell from where we are, but he has the better angle. The referee's right on the line.
An important call at 12-12. Side out now, and advantage with Australia. Oh, the backhanded attempted pass there. Almost impossible for Burdin, so Italy back with a serve.
Yeah, Burdin made the right move going to the line, just couldn't handle the dig.
Oh, big kill there for Julian Prosser. Now he'll want to serve to ram at home here.
Now, I'm curious, I think, yeah, it looks like he's going back for the jump serve again.
Well read there by Burdin. Double hit.
It looked as though his hands came apart just barely, and the ball stuck in his hands, so they were able to call a lift or a double hit. And Andy knew it, too.
Oh, there was a bit on that from Andy Burdin. One gets the feeling here, St. John, that the team that wins the next point could win the match. What a tough serve. Great dig there from Grigolo. Can he finish it off with a spike? He does. What a point.
A diving pass. You don't see that either. I mean, he made an incredible pass on that serve. It should have been an ace.
Well, I don't think Julian Prosser could serve better than that. It's still 12-12.
Well, they took a lot out of him, apparently, because he couldn't keep the serve in himself.
It's a little bit unfortunate that the rotation had the serve with Grigolo and not perhaps Marchiori. That's another fault. Three for Andy Burdin. It's starting to tell now, the pressure.
Yeah, they're all pushing for that one tough serve to give him that point and give him the edge in the game.
Line was the call. You heard it from Julian Prosser to his teammate, and Andy Burdin delivers. Setting himself for the jump. And hopefully a point for the Australians. It's still 12 apiece. Oh, great thought. Change of mind there from Grigolo.
Grigolo knew that Andy was going to be in the backcourt looking for a shot and thinking about which way to go, and was not prepared for the shot on two behind the back.
You're allowed a maximum of 3 hits. No one says you have to use them all. He's missed one. The block that time doing its job.
That's right. He tried to avoid the block on that one and just hit it out of bounds.
And we're getting to the ultimate stage of the match. Italy have been able to hold their lead. The Australians never been able to get in front. And it's 13-12 as Marchiori serves. And it worked out in the Australian advantage there. I don't think Burdin expected to put it as close to the net as that.
Julian made a great play in saving that pass. It might have gone right into the net, but he got to it just in time to pop it over for a winner. There's that tough serve.
And he's hit the net. So Australia back at 13 apiece. Grigolo getting up for the spike and making contact with the net. So that gives the point to Australia. I think Prosser might have handled it anyway.
Great serve again by Julian.
He read that one nicely, backed off the net, set up for the kill. Well handled Marchiori. Italy still in the point. Oh, deft little touch. Will they finish it off this time? No. Italy get the side out.
That's a tremendous rally. Both teams tired once again, and Julian just didn't have enough to get it over the net to the cross court. He made the right decision, but just didn't give it enough.
It's 13 apiece. And the ball
Big
just
break.
flicking the net.
That's a big break for the Australians. That serve was extremely tough, but it just nicked the top of the net.
Fifth fault for Nicola Grigolo. Oh, the block from Prosser is a beauty.
He really reached over the net that time, took away the angle. That's the strength. He really took it away, and the block was down. Burdin made no mistake getting the serve in the court. Julian reaches over, and they're very excited. That could give them enough to take the game.
Australia looking to finish it off. Andy Burdin is serving. A point here, and it's victory.
He's making sure he's going to get this next serve in the court to give them an opportunity to win. Serves deep into the court to force him back deep.
Marchiori's found the opening, so Italy now still alive.
Great serve deep into the court.
Good went cross court. He ignored his partner who said down the line.
He hammered that thing cross court. He wasn't going to give them any opportunity to pick up a shot.
30 kills for Andy Burdin. Australia still on match point.
Chance for the game here.
And a lovely little touch.
Court.
The Aussie skipper Andy Burdin. A testament to both teams' endurance and their will to win here. Game played in great spirit, and what a way to start the day on Manly Beach.
Burdin watches the court, shoots across court for the winner, and both teams are glad to be done with that one, I think.
Well, there wasn't a lot of margin for error in this cut shot across the net. Look how he's inverted his palm almost horizontally, and the angle was good enough.